So we're on our way up here to back to America the Beautiful. Do another exciting episode of Pod in the Park. So stay tuned and let's see what conversations we have today. I know we're meeting with Keith and Pat, and you know, see what other surprises the day holds for us.
What's up, baby girl? How's it going, bro?
Hey, man. You know, every day that we come out here, like we say, you know, is a blessing. It's really, really nice to come out here and
it's a blessing.
Do this.
It's a blessing. I mean? Let me tell you something, buddy. I'm gonna try my absolute hardest to ignore the fact that this tent is pushing the back of my head in, but you know, we're gonna do our best. You know?
What are you talking about?
The wind. You're holding it up too. You're holding it. Yeah. No. It's too tight already. It's already tight enough.
I really don't even know what you're talking about. I don't have any issues. I think it's just because you got a couple inches on me there.
In more than one place. Welcome back.
All right.
Pod in the Park, baby. We got a really special episode today. We got a couple of our friends in here with us. We'll introduce them in a moment. But Juleinn, how was your week?
It's been pretty good, man. It's been pretty good. You know, the life just keeps getting more and more challenging. Gas doubled dang near in cost in the last week or two.
It's definitely noticeable.
Yeah.
At this point,
you know, everything, the cost of everything is just skyrocketing. You know what I mean? And it has a lot to do with, you know, the geopolitical everything. You know, it's just a lot going on in the world. But you know what? God is good, and God always provides. And you know, especially when
He makes a way.
Yeah, especially when you're out there taking care of His people. Then
this week has been great for me. Thanks for asking. This week has been fantastic. Garen, our brother, just closed on his first house, and it is beautiful. Now, day 2, one of the pipes busted.
Oh.
But you know, we live, we learn, and we move forward. It was actually my fault. Yeah, I turned on one of the wrong pipes when I was turning the water on for him.
Oh.
Yeah, but hey, we live, we learn, and we move forward. All right, that's how God takes care of us. Am I right?
Yeah. So what's? Yeah, we'll talk about that later. That's a whole nother thing. All right. So today we've actually we've got some really important guests with us.
Absolutely.
We, as you guys already know, we've got our podcast coming, or we got our event coming up.
Hopping Helpers for Easter.
All right. And our biggest and really our only sponsor for this event is Freedom Recovery. And they're an amazing group out here doing some awesome work in the community, helping people to, you know, recover from addiction and homelessness and overcome a lot of these the biggest challenges that a lot of us face.
Yeah, they offer mental health help, just all kinds of stuff. And the 2 guys who started it all, they're here with us today. Really awesome dudes. I mean, more than just sponsors, just really, really good friends of ours.
Yeah, here in the tent studio with us at Pod in the Park, we've got Keith and Pat. Say hello, guys.
What's going on?
Yeah, so I don't want to get too much into you know, on our side of how you guys started. I want you guys to tell us a little bit about, you know, where you guys come from, how you guys' friendship started, and then how you guys decided to come to this conclusion of trying to change the world, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, pretty much we both met in sober living not too long ago. 2.5, almost 3 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, we were both in the same. Nevada. Yeah, we were both in the same sober living together right there off South Nevada and St. Elmo.
Awesome.
Yeah. So we, you know, we both were there, and Pat came and got me to help do the warming shelters. It was actually Thanksgiving. I got out the day before Thanksgiving 23, so I went and started helping at the warming shelters, and I mean, it was that's a wrap after that. We kind of just continued to do that, and then I moved out. Moved my wife down here, and I moved out, and I was struggling pretty rough doing day labor and shoveling snow,
right.
and anything that I could do, period.
If you could talk into the mic for us, please.
Anything that I could do to make ends meet, you know what I mean? And Pat was working with one of the owners of a different company, and he had bring me on at the time. It was just to help remodel her daughter's trailer. So
right, I get it.
But you know, and continued to volunteer, and then we started working there, and like I said, we kind of moved on from there and went to another place where it was, a lot of these organizations have struggles.
Sure.
And I'm not going to say what their struggles are, but they have struggles, and we just...
you identify those pain points and figured you could, because you've been through it, you know how to actually resolve the issue.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man.
Pat had went and built a whole peer coaching agency for somebody else, another company, and then kind of got the stiff end of that. So,
yeah.
He was just, had no option really except to do his own thing, and me and my wife were right there to help in any way we can. And once he got going, he kind of forced me to come along with him. And
that's not really the truth. The truth is before I had a chance to start making and billing, I couldn't even pay my rent. We were both paying $800 a month at this house. We were at my girl's mom's house, and I couldn't even pay my rent. And Keith was still working for another company at the time, and there were days where I didn't have gas money. I didn't have my rent. My brother would step up and be like, "I got you," and we just always found a way to find each other.
Yeah.
And once we got going, I was like, "Are you ready to come over?" And he was like, "Yeah." And him and his wife came over, Amber. They came over and we just started killing it, man. He came over as Outlaw Remaking at first, and then when we were in Vegas, I think we made the decision to let's just run it all as one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You guys were in Vegas?
Yeah, we went to Vegas.
How long were you guys out there?
Which time?
We actually went. I went to see, because I'm from Las Vegas. I lived in Vegas.
Oh, really?
For 27 years. Yeah.
Oh, so are we. That's cool. That's dope.
So my daughter and my son live out there, and I've obviously been out of their life for a number of years because I wasn't going to be in and out. I'm not,
Yeah.
If I'm not going to be a dad,
I'm not going to be there.
So, I've been building that relationship back. I speak to her every day now, but we went to go visit her just by chance. Adam Vigil had his fight out there as well, so I got to bring her there and do all that. And,
that's awesome.
Big shout out to Adam.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hell yeah, man. Hey, so for anyone who doesn't know, could you explain to us real quick, what is a peer coach?
A peer coach? So a peer coach, man, like pretty much a life coach for people that have been through the shit.
Okay, yeah.
Like, we got checkered past and stuff, we've been pretty much through it all, man. I know I have.
Yeah, the name is in itself, right? Peer coach. When we're being on a peer level, when the state and the county and the government tells us that we will be reimbursed for our time that we spend with people that we potentially turn into clients. We call them clients because that's the label between the peer coach and the person that we're serving.
Right.
At that point, it's someone who's been through that struggle. It's a year requirement of sobriety.
Okay.
Now, I'm not saying coaches don't have relapses.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I'm saying you have to, and going into this, you come up with a year clean. And then whatever struggles and trials you go through along your journey, we're there to help you with that. And we're there to walk you through that and make sure that you come back out the same way you came in, which is
absolutely. I love that.
If I may, it's basically just about holding one another accountable.
100%.
It's keeping one another accountable to your own success and to your own health.
It's that. It's 100% that, but it's also being able to push that person too without.
Yeah.
Because it just depends. I mean, if you're a good peer coach, then you understand, right? But you can't.
If you're a good peer coach, you're losing clients, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
100%.
Out of a job,
exactly.
Right? So you want to be able to push somebody without being mean to them, without
to motivate. To motivate without. Yeah.
And sometimes you don't do it for them, but we walk with them and do the steps with them. We don't do it for them, but we show them.
And we got the ground zero ones, right? Like we're not just talking about justice involved. We're not just talking about homeless. We're talking about the kid who's just struggling. You know what I mean? Who went out there, left their house, left their old lady, is out there just living that life, and then someone comes into you and starts speaking life into you and showing you, no, you were this person. You do have these things in the line. You can go back. I can't hear how many people would say, "Oh, I can never." Why not?
I'll tell you, Pat. I was actually, and I was on my own at 15 and a half years old. I was actually on the streets of Vegas. So I really wish that there was a program like this,
man.
That, and I'm so happy that to hear that you guys have put so much of your, you've taken all of the turmoil, all of the struggle, all of the pain, and you've turned it into something to worth
and
to
that's,
heal.
That's why
others,
we do this, right?
Man.
We do this because we live through it, and we try to become the person that we wish we had. Absolutely. When we were at our lowest, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Look, I paroled in 2023 with not even a pair of shoes. I didn't know one person in Colorado Springs. Never been out this city a day in my life. I wanted to start over, and the people that we choose to select to be in our midst is anybody.
Right.
As long as you want to be a part of what we're doing and walking the walk that we're walking, it's a hand-in-hand thing.
So let me ask you this, because I know that in this industry that you're in, it's a struggle. So what do you think would be like one of the hardest things that you have to see in your industry, and what do you think is one of the most rewarding?
The hardest thing is when, it's day and night, day after day, move after move. You go for someone, and they're just not ready.
Yeah.
You can't take that personal.
Yeah.
Their journey is their.
That's hard though.
Their journey is their journey.
It's hard to not take it personal.
It is hard. It is, especially when you're up at 6 o'clock in the morning to make sure they're there.
Yeah.
You don't get done until like 11:30 at night. You're coming home late. Your old lady's like, "Where are you at?" You haven't ate all day because you've been worried about running around. I mean, it's.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
something else I think that I think would go along with that too is, as no matter how many you save and how many you go out there, no matter how many times you look around, and it just never seems to be enough. It just there's always another, like for every 1 or 2 that you save, there's 3 or 4 more out that end up on the street.
Know about us. They don't even know what this stuff is.
But let's hit on what you talked about earlier. The question you asked about other agencies who have a bad name.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's like a lot of times there's a lot of this looked at as competition. Like there ain't enough people out there to help.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Look,
Thank
I've
you,
been
man.
I've been literally
Thank you.
saying this so often because we've been talking a lot in our organization, and like, they're like, well, and like I'll hear a board member or I'll hear somebody else say, like, well, that's our competition. What do you mean it's competition? There's no competition in helping people. There's no competition. Like, I don't understand what the competition is in helping people.
Like it is beyond me why there's not a big old circle, literally, and everybody out here holding hands, telling everybody we need you to get in the middle. We couldn't even fill it up.
Yeah.
You couldn't fill it up.
Not. There's so many people that view this as like territorial or something like that, man, and you're so confused because there's so many people, like I said, that don't even know that we exist.
Yeah.
Because we haven't been able to get our message loud enough yet to make everybody hear.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, man.
That's the thing is that, only thing I can say to those people, those companies that have that, man, is
have a seat.
Yeah, sit down and talk to God a little bit.
Hey,
and get back on track.
We talked a little bit about you guys doing a podcast. I would love for you to see you guys. I would love to see you guys.
You can borrow the equipment.
That would be so awesome. Look, you guys could even set up the same kind of method. Pot in the park method.
No, we don't want to step on your guys.
No. We actually
ain't no competition, man.
I'm just saying that's what it's like.
So the pop-up pod, the Xzavior actually started the whole idea of a pop-up pod.
Yeah, it's a production company
as a franchise, so that others can actually follow in that same.
Yeah,
idea.
we also produce podcasts
because you guys want to gift the next person into the freedom.
Exactly. Why would we gatekeep for success?
At the end of the day, right?
A lane for it. You know,
like you said, not a lot of people know what you guys are doing, and so the goal is we got to tell people not only that we are doing things, but there's people out here who struggled and got back, who are out here trying to do better for the community and have good hearts. Because otherwise, the narrative that we see in the media right now is literally just
lazy.
Everyone hates each other. Everyone's against each other. You should just hide your stuff and go into your closet and hold all your, which is not what the world is. And most people don't think like that. They just don't know that the rest of us don't as well. You know what I mean? So we talked about other people in this industry, and like I was saying before, right now this industry, in particular, peer coaches, is under fire. Because like you mentioned, a lot of people get into it for the wrong reasons. They do this because they see the way that they can, build a government to make money.
Did anybody notice the lighting change when you shifted to that? Like, it was like, whoa.
Lighting change,
Let me tell you though too, it's a tone, right?
Yeah.
Because and here's why I think a lot of times, sometimes things go bad is because the tone you set when you used to be who you were, when you were getting high, is the same type of people you're around now, but they're sober.
Interesting.
And if
that's a good point.
And if you can't remember to leave behind
old
those
habits
past
and the old
behaviors,
ways.
those past behaviors, when you're bringing into an organization or to an area of help.
I think a lot of it too, and what we've been talking a lot about in my house is that it's this shell. You develop this kind of a shell, and I'm sure you guys
a comfort zone.
Exactly, that's what I'm talking about.
Like
it's this shell,
zone,
exactly.
Right?
You let it protect you for so long that you think that you need it, but it's like you forget that you fail to realize that you have to get out of there to grow and to be able to harden.
So we go ahead, Keith.
That's the thing. Like a lot of people that I see, and of course I see it because they're the bigger names in this, right? And as that we are as well. So we have to try to lead by example. And when I see a lot of things that, you know, they might have left the drugs behind. They might have left the drugs behind and stuff like that, but they really haven't left the lifestyle behind.
Or the
Still,
behaviors.
the behavior, the actions, and it's just like complacency, man. You got to stop just thinking that it's good. You always got to work on yourself every day.
Yeah.
So let's run down how it works, right? So we the client comes in, they select a coach, or if they're a referral, they select a coach, or if the coach happens to meet that person out on the street doing outreach, whatever, on a one-on-one, and they create a bond, that person becomes that coach's client.
Okay.
Then that client has to go before get a BPS, right? She sees that he or she sees the doc, and they then get screened, and then the psychologist refers them to peer services. At that point, sets a treatment plan, sets up some goals, and that coach then begins to work with that client. Now, when you don't let go of those old behaviors and you start looking at this like, that's my client, or that client don't belong to nobody, dude.
No.
That's a dude who's hurt, broken, struggling, trying to get help. And if that means he gets help from 6 different places in one day, so be it, man.
Then that's the most help you can get.
What took to stick.
Exactly. Yeah, whichever works for that person. Because I can't decide what's going to work for that person. And just like, but we have a motto of freedom. You know what I mean? I don't care if you're 6'12", 390, 6 ways to Sunday, different from everybody. Nobody gets turned down from help because we have 32. Our staff is at 32 right now. I think 32 or 31.
Hell yeah.
32. Somebody's going to help you.
And I want to touch on that because your staff's at what, 30, 31, 32 now.
Yeah.
You guys started at what, 6? 6 people out, and you showed me the house outside around a table.
Yeah.
Talking about what you could make happen and how you could change the world.
Yeah.
And now what? Just a year and a half.
Can you guys actually go? I'd like to, because I heard a little bit. You just touched on about that thus far, but can you guys just go back a little bit for me? I'd like to like sit us around that table with you. I'd like to kind of hear what that conversation looked like.
Well, we didn't know what we were doing. We didn't know that we were filing for an LLC. Mm-hmm. We were filing for a nonprofit 501c3. Vanessa, my wife, we didn't know anything. We were calling people asking about this and asking about that. We've never filed any of those types of paperwork. And and just to go on the record, we haven't used our 501c for nothing.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
We haven't got a grant of donation, nothing.
Just literally to keep them off your back.
Just
100%.
We've been just pushing and putting in work.
Building, trying to just help as many people as we can.
I love that, dude. So you guys do a lot more than just peer coaching too. You guys also have mental health help services.
Yep.
And then I know you mentioned a little bit about wanting to get into sober living yourselves.
So
I wanted to open some houses.
Transitional living.
Got it.
But there's so my wife has, you take what you can from whatever works and then you try to build on it, right? My wife is amazing and she's come up with the program that's a year long.
Okay.
There's 2 phases to it, 6 months in one house, and that's what I'm in the process right now of hopefully buying an 8-bedroom house that we're gonna be able to run this program out of for the initial start, which it'll be, you get the group of guys, however many guys are there, and this is where it'll be. The first 6 months is rent free. You work there, you work on yourself, and it's real intensive. So when I was in prison, TC, Therapeutic Community, is what saved my life, right? So I believe in, we can give somebody a job and you can give them this and give them that and a car and everything's good, but it doesn't matter. If you don't fix the problem, it's going to go back to
you're just fixing symptoms.
Yeah. So, what this is to be able to work on that and break down some of that stuff while you're working on building some finances, getting a job and all that. You'll do, after the 6 month, you'll do a mock application to move into a apartment complex. I'm hopefully going to be able to have a little small, like 8-unit duplex type setup. And
That's
then
awesome, man.
You'll move from there into that. You do a mock application, move to that. You'll be starting to pay rent at that point. Save up, continuing, and then when you phase out of the program, hopefully you're successfully moving into your own apartment.
Yeah, and slowly transition you.
And what's your timeline for that looking like? About a year, 6 months?
It'll be about, so the program's a year long.
I'm talking about from now to start it.
Well, so, like Pat said, we don't really know what we're doing.
I love that, dude.
Neither
do we.
Neither do we, brother.
I've only signed one lease in my life, and that's on my office space until the house I live in, what I'm renting.
Yeah.
So now I'm trying to buy this house, and I've already paid the earnest money, the inspection fees, all that stuff.
Hell yeah, man.
So they just did I paid for the appraisal yesterday, as a matter of fact, and I guess we're just waiting to see, they say about a week and a half, and then we'll hear something, so hopefully.
That's awesome, dude.
And let's be realistic, the type of people Keith's talking about moving in for that house, some of them are ground zero.
Yeah.
They're transits from another state.
Which is a struggle.
How long has it been since they've even had an ID?
Yeah.
That means the coach has to go out, bounce around, file paperwork, do this, do that.
It's a lot of legwork.
If you've never had to get your ID from fresh with nothing,
that's
a hassle.
I've had to get my social, all that shit.
Yeah. And like we're talking about working with guys who have been homeless for some years, who have developed a lifestyle, who
they don't exist anymore on paper.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, are you tired yet? Yeah. Are you tired? Is this? And then us, we take them in knowing that they don't have that, but they have Medicaid. We can get them the basic. We got an eye doctor, a foot doctor, a primary,
chiropractic.
These are all pieces.
Awesome. And you guys are going to be partnering with us as, from what I understand, the program you guys are developing with this the rehab program basically is going to be partnered with
still under negotiations.
Yeah, we're talking about it. We're talking about it.
Xzavior,
the bridge program was our bridge program.
Xzavior is going to give us 95%. He's going to take 5%.
I don't think that's what we talked about.
Oh my bad, wrong conversation.
The other way around?
Yeah.
2%. But that's still up on the table, and it's up for things. But we are open to any and all.
Yeah,
absolutely, like you said, it's not a competition. It's all about collaboration, man. I love that.
I love that, man.
We definitely are trying to help anybody that is legitimately serious about helping people and want to do something. And we are there to help. We are there to guide in any way you can.
You guys work a lot with you guys work with the government, not necessarily with them, but they're the ones who kind of help you guys pay for all your institutions.
They reimburse us for our time.
So although that they're kind of involved, I want to ask you guys on an institutional level, do you think that currently the government, in a broad sense, I would say, is helping or hurting your clients and your business?
Well, I can say this, from 10 years ago to now,
yeah,
massively, because now everybody's actually realizing that this is a problem created by
our government.
Man, I've
our
said
system.
I said
the
it.
system, not the government, but the system.
Yeah, I've said it at the parade, and I'll say it now. Are you telling me anybody who's not listening, or somebody who is not sitting in this room, doesn't know somebody who's struggling?
Yeah.
Whether it be an aunt, sister, cousin, neighbor, coworker. It's not going away. It's like substance
and it's
abuse
only getting harder.
So, dad who drinks too much, mom who drinks too much, somebody who's off in the room smoking, whatever the case may be, everybody knows somebody. And it's like, if somebody's sick and breaks their arm, they take them to a doctor.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? Like if somebody's struggling with addiction, everybody wants to stay away from that, like it's contagious.
Why are we stepping over people who are laying on the sidewalk because they're gross? But we're looking at somebody who needs our help in our community.
He's that gross because he's had that much stress and that much pain,
trauma,
and that much
damage,
to where he can't even get up off the ground, bro. So that should just prove you need to help him.
There's these 2 short stories that I always really like to mention, and I one of them's called "The Ones Who Walk Away from Omilas."
I love that story.
And the other one is an answer to that story. It's called "The Ones Who Stay and Fight." And the ones who walk away from Omilas, it starts off, it's framed as like, okay, imagine this beautiful, perfect world, the city, right? It's the city of Omilas. It's bright and beautiful, and it's perfect in every way. It's a utopia. It's like it, and the author's like, well, at first I imagined there would be no drugs, but it's like, for whatever. Like if you like drugs, like you can have drugs, and they're not even habit forming. They'll bring you closer to God, whatever. You know what I mean? Sure. If you want orgies in the street, whatever. Like that's whatever your perfect world looks like. Nobody knows suffering. Nobody knows hunger. Nobody. And the author's like, is it a little hard to imagine? Is it kind of hard for you to picture? Okay, let me explain one more thing. She's like, okay, there's this child, this little insignificant thing, and it's kept like in this dark basement somewhere, off in the dark recesses where nobody thinks about it, and it's fed scraps that are too low for even the animals of Omilas, and everyone at the age of understanding, whether that be 11, 12, 13, whatever whatever, but at the age of understanding, everyone's brought to see this person or this thing, this creature, and taught to understand and made to understand that it's because of the suffering of this individual that Omilas can even exist, whether it's magic or whatever, right? And so most people, well, everyone basically after that kind of goes off for a little while, and then they forget. Everyone forgets and just lives their lives, enjoying Omilas. But then there's some that not in any given like exact moment, but like all in their own time, in their own, but they all kind of in the same way just stop and just start staring off and just. And then eventually they get up and walk out of Omilas, and they just walk away, and nobody knows where they're going. They walk out past the lights and past the farms and nobody knows where they're going, but they seem to know exactly where they're going. And the author asks us, like, well, why is it so hard for us to imagine Omilas before being introduced to this child? And then 2, why is it so hard to imagine where they might be going? And then the answer to it, the ones who stay and fight, sets up the exact same way, but then it even mentions Omilas, but it's like, but we couldn't stay and just abide by the barbaricism and the suffering of innocence. So instead, we decided wherever we found suffering, wherever we found injustice, we would fight it, and we would eliminate it. And so they created what they called social workers, and social workers were people who were essentially extremely damaged by life, and they just wanted to be able to protect the peace
sounds
for
like
everyone
a peer coach.
else.
Sounds like a peer coach.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think the same thing.
Exactly.
Sounds like a peer coach.
Yeah.
Hey, because there have been times where Keith and myself, and I'm sure plenty of other coaches, have pulled up on a scene where the cops are taking somebody, or the cops have them sweated, and they see us come in, and we're all tatted, and we're like, we'll help them. And the cops looking at us like,
how are you gonna help him?
Yeah.
Your pockets.
Yeah.
Help him what?
Yeah. Help him, you know what I mean? But in truth, it's like, he ain't trying to, for whatever damage or trauma that dude's got going on, he ain't trying to look at that cop as anything other than someone who's out there to, do harm to him. Whereas we come up, we're like, hey, bro, how about we get you to detox?
He sees someone who looks like him,
yes,
and looks like where he wants to be.
100%.
That's beautiful, dude.
Yeah, that's definitely the thing is, life's funny, because I remember about 3/4 of my life living in my rearview mirror, looking for cops, trying to stay away from them and get away. And now, like, I can't wait to be pulled over or see a situation like that where I can run up there and be like, hey, look, here's my ID.
Yeah.
Let me help you out. Yeah, like I have no problem with it because I absolutely do 1,000,000% everything by the book. And
that's awesome.
And I'm
man.
only here because God put me here.
Absolutely.
That's really
I'm
awesome.
here to help because
Absolutely.
of God.
I want to ask you guys one more question before we get out of here.
Do we serve the Lord? Absolutely.
Oh, who else?
Oh, okay.
Who else?
Absolutely.
I thought.
Absolutely. No, I was going to ask you guys if you like what you think of Christ and but I didn't even bother because it occurred to me that it's apparent. That you literally, Christ taught discipleship in the manner of peer coaching, and that's I truly believe.
And he only started with 12.
Yeah, 100%, bro, 100%.
That's funny. All right, so on a grand scale, 2, 4, 5 years from now, what's next for Freedom Recovery?
To reach as many people as we can.
Yeah,
We're talking more states. We're talking all over Colorado.
We're talking state to state. We're in negotiations right now with Las Vegas and Arizona.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Nice.
That's really awesome.
It's a process though. It's a process just like it is with anywhere else. Paperwork, certificates, and dedication.
Yeah.
You can't. Like we've got our first year in a year and some change, and it's because we don't stop. You know what I mean? Like I wake up every day, I'm there. We're there.
You can't stop. Listen, this dude will call me at like 6:30, 7 a.m. in the morning. Xzavior, what's up? And I got to pretend I'm awake. Hey, what's up, bro? You know I'm sleeping. I'm like, hey, I'm up too. What's up? Hey, yes, it's not early at all. What's up, dude?
You don't get me with that one no more now. I get up at 4:30.
yeah, keep going back. Hey, so before we got...
He put a gym in his garage, dude.
Hey, there you go.
I gotta get one too.
I had to. You know, there's one thing that I like to say, right? My wife, she puts this the clearest, and you know, the thing about this, because you would ask one of the biggest, you know, letdowns or trials, whatever. So, you know, 99% of the time, you're not going to be rewarded in this in the way you feel. Like, you're not going to see every single client. Like, really, you're probably not going to see many clients that just completely change their life and everything's so much better and everything's great. But that's not saying that's not going to happen. What it is saying is that even though that is a possibility, a strong possibility that these people aren't going to succeed the first time or many times, is that you have to be there to try, because if you're just like one of the people that are in their path that they have to speak to make this stuff stick, you know. So if you have to speak, if they have to go through 24 different people to finally make it, and you're number 12 and you decided, you know, he ain't going to make it, so you bounced and he never makes it because you didn't decide to spend that time. You know what I mean? Like, you don't get those successes all the time.
That's
when
true,
you
man.
do, they're amazing. But the
That's true,
failures
bro.
hurt.
What you're getting at actually is something I talk about often too, is the way I don't know if you ever studied the Taoism.
Yeah.
The way the Tao puts it is that oftentimes it's like a finger pointing at the moon, and you know, people lose track of the moon looking at the finger. You know what I mean? So it's just trying to be very careful and very
Keep the focus where
conscious.
it's supposed to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there's another guy too. Man, what's his name? He went after the one. Christ. You know what I mean? And that's the one we turn around for. We go back for the one.
The one we turn around for. That's the name of this episode. The one we turn around for.
The one we turn around for.
I like that a lot, actually. Listen, guys, before we get out of here, I'm going to ask you guys one more question. But before we do that, if you indulge me, yesterday my wife was 2 years sober. So I just want to say, hey, good job, Hannah. I'm really proud of you.
Congratulations,
we love
Hannah.
you so much.
Good job.
I got a chip for it too.
Yeah, for sure. Listen, we end every interview the same way. I want to ask you guys, if you had a microphone, and you do, both of you, and you could say anything to this city at all, what would it be?
If you see somebody from Freedom, know that we're there to help.
Love it.
Love that.
Yeah, we love you.
Yeah,
I love that.
you.
Hey, thanks a lot for
Love
coming in
that.
today, guys. We love you guys. Hey, look for them with us this Sunday over here at America the Beautiful. Hopping Helpers. We'll be cleaning up the park for Easter. We'll be giving out Easter baskets. We may or may not have a bounce house. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
I'm working on it.
I don't know.
Hey.
I'll pay for it. Get it online.
Hey,
know what I'm saying?
I would just like to say, man, I've heard a lot about you guys, and
It doesn't. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you guys, like, just meeting you two is a blessing, and I thank you very much for even working with us and gracing us with your presence today.
I'm gonna lock that on the radio, Xzavior. Get the bouncer. We'll get it.
All right, we getting the bouncer.
Hell yeah, Pat.
We getting the
Appreciate
bouncer,
you guys,
baby.
man.
Hey,
Hey, we'll see you guys Sunday, this Easter, for Hoppin' Helpers here in America the Beautiful, the park.
yes,
Can't have
sir.
all these kids and no bouncer.
Hey, so you know what it is? When united,
We are us.
let's do it.
That was a great.
Find the bouncer.
Yeah, we don't need anything else.
なんのこれしき